You don't belong here! Security! VP Marcus Sterling screams at the black woman emptying his trash. She smiles quietly, pulls out her phone, speed dials. Board meeting, now. Marcus Sterling storms into his corner office on this rain-soaked Monday morning, his Armani suit crisp despite the Seattle drizzle. His quarterly projections are hemorrhaging red ink, and his patience evaporated somewhere between the parking garage and the 42nd floor. He freezes. An unfamiliar black woman, mid-30s, empties his wastebasket. Business casual attire, professional demeanor. She moves with quiet efficiency. "Excuse me." His voice cuts sharp. "What are you doing here?" She straightens, meeting his gaze calmly. "Good morning, I was just... Cleaning isn't supposed to happen during business hours." He steps closer, territorial. "Don't you people know the protocols?" The woman pauses, studying his face. Something flickers behind her eyes. Not fear, but calculation. "I understand your concern, but..." "No buts. People like you need to know your place in this building." Marcus pulls out his phone. "I'm calling security." Her composure remains unshakable. She watches him dial, then reaches into her purse with deliberate calm. "What would you do if someone treated you like this at your own company? Drop your country flag below." She pulls out something that makes Marcus's face drain completely white. 30 minutes earlier, Amara Thompson's Tesla Model S glides into the executive parking garage of Tech Vault Solutions. At 38, she built this Fortune 500 tech empire from her Stanford dorm room, but today she's dressed down. Dark jeans, navy blazer, minimal makeup. Intentionally unremarkable. The security guard's eyebrows lift as she approaches. "Morning, Ms. Thompson. Didn't expect you today." "Surprise inspection, David. How's the family?" "Good, good. You look..." He searches for words. "Different." She smiles. "That's the point." The private elevator whisks her to the 42nd floor. Her assistant's desk sits empty. Sick day. Perfect. Amara decides to walk the floors, see what really happens when the CEO isn't watching. The break room reveals its secrets quickly. 2 junior developers huddle over coffee. "Another diversity hire in marketing," one mutters. "Third this quarter." "At least they're trying to hit their quotas," the other responds. Amara's jaw tightens. She continues her rounds. In the facilities closet, she encounters Miguel, the head maintenance worker. His weathered face brightens. "Ms. Thompson, you're here early." "Miguel, tell me honestly, how do executives treat your staff?" His smile fades. "Most are respectful, but some..." He glances around nervously. "Some act like we're invisible, or worse." "Worse how?" "The new VP, Sterling. He's particular about who he wants cleaning his office. Says some of us don't represent the company image properly." Heat builds in Amara's chest. "Which of your team does he prefer?" "Only sends the white cleaning staff to executive floors. Says the others make clients uncomfortable." Amara nods slowly, filing this information. "Thank you for telling me." She walks the executive wing, observing. Corner offices gleam with floor-to-ceiling windows. The hallway artwork costs more than most people's annual salaries. Everything pristine, powerful, intimidating. But something feels wrong. The energy. The way conversations halt when she passes. The subtle segregation she's noticing. Minorities clustered in support roles, executive positions overwhelmingly uniform. She built this company on principles of innovation and inclusion. Somewhere along the way, those values got corrupted. Marcus Sterling joined 2 years ago during rapid expansion. Harvard MBA, Sterling recommendations, impressive portfolio. But whispers followed him. Whispers about his high standards and particular requirements. Amara reaches his office suite. Through the glass, she sees him on a heated phone call, gesturing aggressively. His quarterly numbers are down 15%. Pressure makes people reveal their true character. She spots the wastebasket overflowing with crumpled reports. Miguel's team usually handles this, but they're short-staffed today. Perfect opportunity. As she enters with the cleaning supplies, Marcus's voice rises behind his closed door. Marcus Sterling slams his phone down, ending another disastrous call with their biggest client. Revenue projections look like a crime scene. His career hangs by threads thinner than his patience. The door opens. A black woman enters, carrying cleaning supplies. He's never seen her before. Mid-30s, professional bearing, moving with quiet confidence. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong everything. "What are you doing here?" His voice carries the edge of a man already pushed too far. She turns, meeting his stare without flinching. "Good morning. I'm just emptying the waste." "Cleaning happens after hours. Don't you people follow basic protocols?" The woman pauses, something shifting in her expression. Not submission, evaluation. "I understand your preference, but the bins were quite full and—" "I don't want excuses." Marcus steps closer, using his height advantage. "I want competence. People like you need to understand professional boundaries." She tilts her head slightly. "People like me? Don't play games, you know what I mean." His frustration bleeds into cruelty. "This is an executive floor. We maintain certain standards here." "What standards would those be?" Her calm unsettles him. Cleaning staff should apologize, defer, disappear. Instead, she asks questions like she belongs here. Standards of excellence, professionalism, things that obviously weren't covered in your orientation. He gestures dismissively at her casual attire. "This isn't some community center. We represent serious money to serious people." Through the glass walls, other employees slow their pace. A few hold phones, recording discreetly. Marcus notices the audience and feels energized. Time to demonstrate leadership. "Look, I'm sure you're trying your best," he continues, voice dripping condescension. "But effort isn't enough in this environment. We need people who understand corporate culture, who can interact appropriately with clients and executives." She nods thoughtfully. "And you believe I lack that understanding?" "I believe you're in the wrong place at the wrong time wearing the wrong attitude." Sarah Chen, a senior analyst, approaches the office. She recognizes Amara immediately and starts forward, but Amara catches her eye and subtly shakes her head. "Wait. Watch." Marcus interprets Sarah's hesitation as respect for his authority. His confidence swells. "Here's how this works," he tells Amara. "You finish up quickly and quietly. Next time, follow proper scheduling and dress appropriately. This isn't casual Friday." "I see." Amara's voice remains perfectly level. "And if I don't meet these expectations? Then you'll find yourself looking for work elsewhere. I have contacts throughout this industry. Word travels fast about people who don't fit." The threat hangs in the air like smoke. Around them, the gathered employees shift uncomfortably. Some look away, unwilling to witness what feels increasingly ugly. But Amara doesn't break, doesn't bend. She simply nods and returns to emptying his wastebasket. Marcus watches her work, satisfied with his dominance display. He's shown these people how authority functions in his domain. Amara's phone buzzes with a text that makes her smile coldly. Marcus Sterling feeds off the growing audience. Power requires performance, and he's found his stage. "Actually, don't just empty that." He points to his conference table, stained with coffee rings from this morning's crisis meeting. "Clean it properly. I need to see real effort here." Amara sets down her supplies without protest. She retrieves cleaning spray and paper towels, moving with methodical precision. Around them, more employees gather. Phones emerge, recording discreetly. "Slower," Marcus commands. "Do it right the first time. This table hosts million-dollar negotiations." She complies, wiping each section carefully. Marcus positions himself where everyone can see his authority in action. "You see," he addresses the crowd, "this is about standards, excellence. When you accept mediocrity, mediocrity becomes your culture." Jennifer Walsh, a junior marketing coordinator, whispers to her colleague, "This feels wrong." "Shut up," her colleague hisses back. Sterling's got connections. Don't make yourself a target. Marcus overhears and smiles. Fear breeds respect. Jennifer raises an interesting point about workplace dynamics. Sometimes tough love is necessary to maintain professional boundaries. He turns back to Amara. Now the windows. They're streaked. The floor-to-ceiling glass overlooks downtown Seattle. Amara approaches with cleaning solution, spraying and wiping in long, even strokes. Marcus follows, critiquing her technique. Miss a spot there, and there. Do you even know how to clean glass professionally? I'm learning, Amara replies evenly. Learning? Marcus laughs, playing to his audience. This isn't job training. This is basic competency. Didn't anyone teach you proper work ethic? The comment hits like a slap. Several employees wince. David Kim, a senior developer, starts to step forward, but his manager grabs his arm. Think about your career, the manager whispers. Marcus notices the intervention and feels emboldened. Exactly right. Everyone here understands professional hierarchy. Some people adapt to corporate culture, others... He shrugs meaningfully. Amara continues cleaning, her movements steady and deliberate. But something shifts in her posture. Not submission, but preparation. You know what bothers me most? Marcus continues, warming to his theme. The entitlement. Walking into executive spaces like you belong here, like you've earned access to this level. And how does one earn that access? Amara asks without turning around. Education, achievement, proving your value through results, not quotas or sympathy points. The insult cuts deep. Around them, the minority employees exchange painful glances. They've heard these coded words before, the suggestion that their presence stems from charity rather than merit. I see, Amara says. So you believe my presence here results from sympathy? I believe in calling things what they are. Some people build their way up through talent and hard work. Others take shortcuts. He's enjoying himself now, drunk on dominance. The audience gives him power, and power reveals character. Tell me about your education, he continues. Your background, your qualifications for working in a facility like this. Amara turns to face him, something dangerous flickering in her eyes. My qualifications? Basic curiosity. I like to understand who's handling my work environment. She sets down the cleaning supplies slowly, very slowly. My qualifications are quite extensive. I'm sure they are. His tone drips with sarcasm. Let me guess, community college? Some kind of certification program? The gathered employees hold their breath. Even Marcus's supporters sense he's crossed a line, but momentum carries him forward. Actually, Amara says, her voice dropping to a quieter register, I graduated summa cum laude from Stanford, computer science, then earned my MBA from Wharton. Marcus blinks, momentarily thrown. Then he recovers, laughing dismissively. Right, and I'm sure you have extensive corporate experience too. 15 years building technology companies from the ground up. The confidence in her voice stops his laughter cold. Something's wrong here. Cleaning staff don't speak with this kind of authority, don't carry themselves with this kind of presence. But pride won't let him retreat. Impressive resume, he sneers. Too bad none of it prepared you for actual professional environments. Amara pulls out her phone and speed dials a number Marcus recognizes. Excuse me, Amara says, her voice carrying new steel. I need to make a call. She steps away from Marcus's office, walking with purpose toward the empty conference room at the end of the hall. Behind her, Marcus addresses his audience with renewed confidence. See how they deflect when confronted with reality? Can't handle direct feedback. But something nags at him, her composure, her vocabulary, the way she moved through his space like she owned it. In the conference room, Amara closes the door and dials. Richard, it's me. I need an emergency board meeting. 1 hour. Richard Chen, her chief legal officer, sounds alarmed. What's happened? Systematic discrimination, hostile work environment, complete violation of everything we built this company on. Her voice remains calm, but fury burns underneath. And I just experienced it firsthand. Jesus. How bad? Career-ending bad. For him, not us. Get Patricia on the line. I need termination paperwork prepared, and call security. I want this handled by the book. She hangs up and immediately dials her assistant's backup. Monica, I need Marcus Sterling's complete personnel file. Everything. HR complaints, performance reviews, all of it. Email it to me in 10 minutes. Third call. Patricia, it's Amara. I need you in the building now. Bring the employee handbook and our discrimination policies. Yes, the ones I personally wrote. She pauses, staring out the conference room window at the city she's helped build. TechVault Solutions employs 12,000 people. She created this company to be different, inclusive, innovative, respectful. Somewhere along the way, she lost sight of the day-to-day reality. Not anymore. Her phone buzzes with Marcus's file. She scrolls through it, her expression growing darker with each page. 3 complaints from minority employees in his department. 2 reports of inappropriate comments during performance reviews. 1 formal grievance filed 6 months ago, dismissed by his direct supervisor as personality conflict. Her fury crystallizes into something harder, determination. She calls her head of security. James, it's Amara. I need you to preserve all security footage from the executive floor, last 2 hours. Also, I understand some employees recorded an incident. I need those files secured as evidence. Ma'am, is everything's about to be very different around here. Stand by for further instructions. One final call to her corporate attorney. David, it's Amara Thompson. I need to verify something. If an executive creates a hostile work environment through discriminatory behavior, witnessed by multiple employees with recorded evidence, what's our liability exposure? Significant. But if you handle it swiftly and decisively, you demonstrate good faith corporate responsibility. Good, because I'm about to handle it very swiftly and very decisively. She hangs up and checks her watch. 45 minutes until the board arrives. Time to gather more evidence. Returning to the hallway, she spots Miguel organizing his cleaning cart. She approaches quietly. Miguel, I need you to tell me everything about Sterling's treatment of your team. Everything. His eyes dart around nervously. Ms. Thompson, I don't want trouble. The only trouble is what's already happening. I'm going to fix this, but I need facts. Miguel's shoulders straighten. For 10 minutes, he details a pattern of discrimination that makes Amara's blood boil. Racial slurs disguised as jokes. Deliberate scheduling to keep minority workers away from important clients. Comments about appropriate representation and company image. Why didn't anyone report this? We tried. HR said it was hearsay without witnesses, but executives don't usually act that way in front of other executives. Amara nods grimly. They do now. She walks back toward Marcus's office, where he's still holding court. Through the glass, she sees him gesturing expansively, clearly enjoying his perceived victory. Time to change that perception permanently. As she approaches his office, 3 familiar figures step off the executive elevator. Marcus Sterling rides high on adrenaline and applause. The crowd around his office has grown, and he's found his rhythm as the star of his own power display. Leadership isn't about being liked, he tells his audience. It's about maintaining standards. Some people understand that naturally. Others need guidance. He glances toward the conference room where Amara disappeared. Take our friend there, probably calling her supervisor to complain about unfair treatment. That's the problem with people who haven't earned their position. They blame everyone except themselves. Several employees shift uncomfortably, but Marcus interprets their unease as respect for his authority. I've worked in Fortune 500 companies across 3 continents, he continues. Excellence has a look, a feel, a standard. You either meet it or you don't. Jennifer Walsh, the marketing coordinator, finds her courage. Maybe we should just let her do her job. Marcus turns toward her with laser focus. Jennifer, right? How long have you been with the company? 8 months? 8 months. I've been building corporate culture for 15 years. Trust me when I say that small compromises lead to big problems. The implicit threat silences Jennifer. Around them, other junior employees take note. Challenge Marcus Sterling. Face consequences. Besides, Marcus adds, warming to his theme, this isn't personal. It's professional. Some people fit corporate environments, others are better suited for different opportunities. Through the glass walls, he spots building security approaching. Perfect timing. Here we go. Professional resolution. But the security guard, David from the lobby, looks confused rather than authoritative. He recognizes Amara, knows exactly who she is, but can't understand why she's in this situation. Mr. Sterling? David's voice carries uncertainty. You called about a security issue? That's right. We have someone in the executive area who doesn't belong here. She was disruptive. David glances around, clearly uncomfortable. Sir, I'm not sure I understand the situation. It's simple. Cleaning staff shouldn't be in executive offices during business hours. When I corrected the behavior, she became argumentative, unprofessional. The gathered employees watch this exchange with growing tension. Some sense something's wrong but can't identify what. Others enjoy the spectacle. Where is this person now? David asks. Conference room. Probably calling her union rep or some such nonsense. David nods slowly, but his expression remains troubled. He's worked this building for 5 years. He knows the protocols, knows the people, knows when something doesn't add up. Marcus misinterprets his hesitation as thorough professionalism. I appreciate you taking this seriously, David. Too many companies let these situations slide. Yes, sir. I'll handle it appropriately. Good man. This is why we need security who understand corporate priorities. As David walks toward the conference room, Marcus returns to his audience. See how proper channels work? No drama, no complications, just professional standards professionally enforced. But David doesn't enter the conference room. Instead, he pulls out his radio and speaks quietly, his back to Marcus. This is David at the front desk. I need to confirm something with management. Yes, it's urgent. Marcus can't hear the conversation, but he sees David's body language change. The security guard straightens, speaks more rapidly, glances back toward the office with new understanding. Sarah Chen, the senior analyst who recognized Amara earlier, finally steps forward. Marcus, I think you should know. Sarah, please, I've got this handled. But she's gone, which solves the problem. Sometimes leadership means making tough decisions quickly. Sarah stares at him in disbelief. You have no idea what you've just done. I've maintained professional standards in a professional environment. That's exactly what I was hired to do. Just as Marcus finishes speaking, the elevator opens and 3 board members step out. 3 distinguished figures emerge from the executive elevator. Patricia Williams, Chief Human Resources Officer, Richard Chen, Chief Legal Officer, and Dr. Margaret Foster, Board Chair. Their faces carry the gravity of people summoned for crisis management. Marcus Sterling's demeanor transforms instantly. Gone is the theatrical bully. In his place stands a polished executive, back straight, smile professional. Patricia, Richard, Dr. Foster, what brings you to the floor today? Patricia exchanges glances with Richard. We received a call about a situation requiring immediate attention. Ah. Marcus nods knowingly. You're here about the security incident. I handled it efficiently. Proper channels, no escalation. The disruptive individual has been removed from the executive area. Dr. Foster, a woman whose steel-gray hair and penetrating gaze have intimidated CEOs across 3 decades, steps closer. Tell us about this incident. Marcus straightens, sensing opportunity. 3 C-level executives witnessing his leadership in action? Perfect career advancement material. A cleaning person entered my office during business hours, completely against protocol. When I corrected the behavior professionally, she became argumentative and disrespectful. Disrespectful how? Richard asks, his lawyer's training evident in the precision of his question. Questioning my authority, making claims about qualifications she clearly doesn't possess, disrupting the work environment. Marcus gestures to the lingering crowd. As you can see, it created quite a scene. Patricia takes notes, her expression unreadable. What specific claims did she make? Said she had degrees from Stanford and Wharton, claimed 15 years of corporate experience. Marcus laughs dismissively. Obvious fabrication to avoid accountability. The three executives exchange meaningful looks that Marcus completely misses. And how did you respond to these fabrications? Dr. Foster asks. Professionally but firmly. I explained our standards, our expectations, our company culture. Sometimes people need clear guidance about appropriate workplace behavior. Could you be more specific about this guidance? Richard's pen hovers over his notepad. Marcus feels confident now, playing to an audience of peers. I explained that excellence has standards, that people need to understand their role in maintaining corporate image, that some individuals are better suited for certain environments than others. Patricia's pen stops moving. Certain environments? You know what I mean. Cultural fit, professional presentation. The intangibles that separate good companies from great ones. The words hang in the air like toxic gas. Around them, employees look increasingly uncomfortable. Even Marcus's supporters sense something shifting. Mr. Sterling, Dr. Foster says slowly, did you verify this person's identity before providing guidance? I didn't need to. The situation was obvious. Someone in the wrong place at the wrong time, with the wrong attitude. The wrong attitude about what? About hierarchy. About knowing your place in a professional organization. About understanding that access to executive areas is earned, not assumed. Richard and Patricia exchange another glance. Marcus interprets their attention as admiration for his decisive leadership. I appreciate you coming up to observe the situation firsthand, Marcus continues. Too often, management doesn't see how these small incidents can impact company culture. But when you maintain standards consistently... Mr. Sterling, Dr. Foster interrupts. Where is this person now? Conference room. Probably calling her supervisor to complain about proper workplace correction. I see. And you're confident in your handling of this situation? Absolutely. Quick, professional, decisive. Exactly the kind of leadership this company needs. Dr. Foster nods slowly. Thank you for that assessment. She turns to Patricia. I think we have enough information. Please ask Ms. Thompson to join us. Marcus blinks. Ms. Thompson? The woman you've been educating about company standards. Something cold crawls up Marcus's spine. The way Dr. Foster said the name, the formality, the respect. I'm sorry, who exactly? The person you deemed unfit for executive areas, Richard says quietly. Marcus's face drains of color as he begins to understand what's happening. Marcus Sterling's confident facade cracks like ice under pressure. The board members' formal tone, their careful questions, the way they said her name, everything points toward a reality he refuses to accept. I'm sorry, he stammers, but who exactly is Ms. Thompson? Patricia Williams steps forward, her HR training evident in her measured response. The individual you've spent the last hour humiliating in front of your colleagues. Humiliating? That's completely unfair. I was maintaining professional standards. By questioning her education, Richard Chen's voice carries prosecutorial precision. By suggesting she doesn't belong in corporate environments? Marcus looks around desperately. The crowd that once gave him power now feels like a jury. I was enforcing company policy. Cleaning staff shouldn't be in executive offices during business hours. And if she wasn't cleaning staff? Dr. Foster asks quietly. The question hits like a physical blow. Marcus's mouth opens, closes, opens again. What do you mean, if? Did you ask her name? No, but did you inquire about her role in the company? The situation was obvious. Did you verify anything before making assumptions about her position, her qualifications, her right to be here? Silence stretches like a chasm. Around them, employees hold their breath. Even Marcus's supporters begin backing away, sensing the magnitude of what's unfolding. She was cleaning, Marcus whispers, his voice hollow. She had supplies. She was emptying trash. So you assumed, Patricia says, making another note. I observed, Marcus corrects desperately. Professional observation based on context clues. Context clues. Dr. Foster repeats the phrase like it tastes bitter. What context clues led you to conclude she was unqualified for corporate environments? Marcus realizes he's standing in a minefield where every word could detonate his career. Her demeanor. Her presence in the space during business hours. Her demeanor. Casual dress, informal approach, not the typical executive presentation. Richard leans forward. And what does typical executive presentation look like, Mr. Sterling? The trap closes around him. Every possible answer reveals his prejudices more clearly. Professional attire, polished manner, the kind of presence that commands respect. I see. And this woman lacked these qualities? She was dressed down, casual, not appropriate for what? For executive interaction, for representing the company to clients. Patricia's pen moves rapidly across her notepad. So you determined her fitness for corporate environments based on her clothing? Among other factors, such as? Marcus feels sweat beading on his forehead. Her approach to feedback, her resistance to guidance, her claims about qualifications. The qualifications you dismissed as impossible? Stanford and Wharton? 15 years of corporate experience? Come on, you could tell just by looking. He stops mid-sentence, realizing what he's revealed. You could tell by looking, Dr. Foster repeats slowly. Tell us what you saw when you looked at her. The conference room door opens. Amara Thompson emerges, walking with the quiet confidence of someone who built empires from nothing. She approaches the group with measured steps. Marcus stares at her, his brain struggling to process the impossible. Same woman, same face. But now the board members address her with unmistakable deference. Ms. Thompson, Dr. Foster says formally, thank you for joining us. Mr. Sterling was just explaining his assessment of your qualifications. Amara's gaze settles on Marcus with laser intensity. Were you indeed? I don't understand what's happening here. Amara pulls out her business card, extends it toward him with deliberate slowness. Perhaps this will clarify the situation. Marcus takes the card with trembling fingers, reads it once, twice, 3 times. Amara Thompson, Chief Executive Officer, Tech Vault Solutions. The words blur together. His world tilts sideways. That's impossible, he whispers. Is it? Amara's voice carries the quiet authority of absolute power. Tell me, Mr. Sterling, based on your professional observation and context clues, what makes it impossible? Marcus opens his mouth to respond, but no words come out. Silence crashes over the executive floor like a tsunami. Marcus Sterling stares at the business card in his trembling hands, his world reshaping itself around an impossible truth. Amara Thompson, Chief Executive Officer, Tech Vault Solutions. The woman he humiliated, degraded, and dismissed as unqualified runs the entire company. Built it from nothing. Employs 12,000 people, including him. This can't be real, he whispers. Amara steps closer, her presence filling the space with quiet authority. Mr. Sterling, I'm Amara Thompson. I founded this company 15 years ago in my Stanford dorm room. I coded the first product myself. I secured our initial funding, built our corporate culture, established our values. Her voice carries the weight of absolute certainty. I graduated summa cum laude from Stanford with a degree in computer science. I earned my MBA from Wharton while running a tech startup that I sold for $40 million. That startup became the foundation for Tech Vault Solutions. Marcus's legs feel weak. The crowd around them grows silent, recording everything. I've built this company on principles of innovation, excellence, and inclusion. Every hiring decision, every policy, every value statement comes from my vision of what corporate America could become. She pauses, letting the magnitude sink in. Today, I decided to walk my own floors to see if those values survived our rapid growth. I dressed casually because I wanted honest interactions, not performative deference. Patricia Williams steps forward. Ms. Thompson experienced your behavior firsthand, Mr. Sterling. Every word, every assumption, every discriminatory statement. Richard Chen opens his tablet. We have security footage, employee recordings, and witness statements. Your conduct created a textbook hostile work environment. Dr. Foster's voice cuts like a scalpel. You questioned the CEO's education, dismissed her qualifications, and suggested she didn't belong in corporate environments. Based on what criteria? Marcus tries to speak, but coherent thought eludes him. I didn't know. I couldn't have known. Known what? Amara asks. That I was the CEO, or that I deserved basic human respect regardless of my position? The question hangs in the air like a blade. You didn't know my title, so you felt entitled to degrade me. You saw a black woman and made instant assumptions about my intelligence, my education, my worth. Marcus attempts damage control. That's not... I would never... I'm not racist. I have diverse friends, diverse colleagues. Stop. Amara's command silences him instantly. I heard every word you said, about people like me, about knowing my place, about cultural fit and professional presentation. She addresses the gathered crowd. Everyone here witnessed systematic discrimination, not subtle bias, overt, deliberate prejudice designed to humiliate and exclude. Patricia opens her file. Mr. Sterling, your personnel record shows a pattern. 3 formal complaints from minority employees in your department. 2 reports of inappropriate comments during performance reviews. Multiple instances of discriminatory scheduling and assignment practices. We investigated each complaint, Richard adds. Previous management dismissed them as personality conflicts or communication issues, but patterns reveal truth. Marcus feels the walls closing in. Those complaints were misunderstandings, workplace friction, nothing more. Miguel Torres, head of facilities, documented 18 separate incidents of discriminatory behavior, Amara continues. Racial slurs disguised as jokes, deliberate exclusion of minority workers from high-visibility assignments, comments about appropriate representation for client meetings. Have you ever witnessed workplace discrimination? Share your story in the comments. Dr. Foster steps forward. Mr. Sterling, your behavior today violated multiple company policies, federal employment laws, and basic human decency. You created a hostile work environment while the CEO of the company watched. Marcus realizes his career is over. Everything he built, every connection he made, every achievement he accumulated, destroyed by 1 hour of revealed character. Please, he whispers. This is a misunderstanding. I can explain. Explain what? Amara's voice remains steady, implacable. Explain why you assumed a black woman couldn't belong in executive spaces? Explain why you questioned credentials you deemed impossible for someone like me? She pulls out her phone, scrolls through messages. I've received texts from 17 employees in the last hour. Similar experiences. Same pattern of discrimination. Same excuses dismissed by management. Marcus sees his reflection in the conference room glass. A man who thought he held power, discovering he never understood what power meant. Your termination is effective immediately, Amara announces. Security will escort you from the building. Your access cards, company property, and parking privileges are revoked. Your final paycheck will be processed according to legal requirements. You can't do this, Marcus protests weakly. I have contracts, agreements, which are voided by discriminatory conduct, Richard responds. Your behavior constitutes grounds for immediate termination under both company policy and employment law. Amara turns to address the entire floor. This company was built on values of respect, inclusion, and excellence. Today proved we've lost sight of those values. That changes now. Marcus makes one final desperate attempt. I'll sue. Wrongful termination. Discrimination against... Against what, Doctor? Foster interrupts. Against executives who create hostile work environments? Good luck finding representation. Security arrives. David from the lobby, joined by 2 additional guards. They approach Marcus with professional courtesy but unmistakable authority. Mr. Sterling, David says quietly, please come with us. As Marcus is escorted toward the elevator, he turns back toward Amara. This isn't over. Yes, she replies calmly. It is. The elevator doors close on Marcus's career as Amara turns to address her company's future. Within hours, TechVault Solutions transforms into a precision legal machine. Richard Chen's team documents every aspect of Marcus Sterling's discriminatory behavior, while Patricia Williams implements immediate policy changes. Complete audit of all departments. Amara instructs her leadership team in the emergency board meeting. I want to know how deep this culture problem goes. The conference room buzzes with controlled urgency. External counsel joins by video conference while HR prepares comprehensive documentation. Legally, we're in strong position, Richard reports. Marcus's behavior was witnessed, recorded, and well documented. His personnel file shows clear patterns of discrimination that previous management failed to address. Dr. Foster reviews the security footage on her tablet. This is damning. He explicitly questioned her qualifications based on appearance, made statements about people like her, and suggested she didn't belong in corporate environments. Meanwhile, across town, Marcus sits in an employment attorney's office, desperate for legal recourse. Wrongful termination, he insists. They set me up. Discrimination against white executives. Reverse racism. Attorney James Rodriguez reviews the evidence with growing skepticism. Mr. Sterling, I have video footage of you telling the CEO of the company that people like her need to know their place. What exactly was reverse about that racism? I didn't know she was the CEO. If I had known, you would have treated her with respect? Rodriguez interrupts. So your respect depends on someone's title, not their humanity? Marcus realizes his legal position is hopeless. 3 more attorneys decline representation after reviewing the evidence. Back at TechVault, the story spreads through Seattle's tech community like wildfire. Local business publications pick up the story within hours. TechVault CEO experiences discrimination firsthand, takes immediate action, reads the Seattle Business Journal headline. The company's stock price initially dips on uncertainty, then rises as investors recognize the proactive response. Corporate clients issue statements supporting TechVault's values-driven leadership. We stand behind companies that demonstrate authentic commitment to inclusion, announces their largest client in a public statement. Patricia Williams leads the internal investigation, interviewing Marcus's former subordinates. The stories pour out. Years of suppressed experiences finally finding voice. He told me my promotion was delayed because clients weren't ready for diverse leadership, reports senior developer Priya Patel. I assumed he was protecting me. He scheduled me away from client meetings, saying my accent might confuse important visitors, adds software architect Carlos Martinez. The pattern becomes undeniable. Marcus systematically excluded minority employees from high-visibility opportunities while maintaining plausible deniability. Amara reviews each report personally, her anger crystallizing into determination. We failed these people. I failed them by being too removed from day-to-day operations. The legal team prepares for potential litigation. Marcus's desperate attorney files a discrimination claim with the EEOC. alleging reverse racism and wrongful termination. Frivolous, Richard Chen tells the press. Mr. Sterling was terminated for creating a hostile work environment, not for his race or gender. We have extensive documentation of discriminatory behavior spanning 2 years. The EEOC investigation lasts 3 weeks. Federal investigators interview employees, review footage, and examine company policies. Their finding: Marcus's termination was justified and necessary. TechVault demonstrated exemplary corporate responsibility. The EEOC report concludes, swift action to address discrimination protects all employees and serves the public interest. Marcus's unemployment benefits claim faces similar scrutiny. The hearing officer reviews video evidence of his behavior, witness testimony, and documented policy violations. Benefits denied, the decision reads. Termination resulted from workplace misconduct that violated company policy and federal employment law. His severance package evaporates due to breach of conduct clauses. Health insurance expires. Professional references become impossible to secure. I can't recommend him, his former mentor tells a potential employer. His judgment and character proved problematic. TechVault implements sweeping changes. External diversity consultants conduct company-wide culture audits. Anonymous reporting systems give employees safe channels for raising concerns. Zero tolerance means zero tolerance, Amara announces in an all-hands meeting. Discrimination, harassment, or hostile behavior results in immediate termination, regardless of position or performance. The company establishes an Inclusion Excellence Award, recognizing employees who demonstrate exceptional commitment to diversity and respect. Miguel Torres receives the first award for his courage in reporting Marcus's behavior. You gave voice to people who felt voiceless, Amara tells him during the presentation. That's real leadership. Employee morale skyrockets. Previously marginalized workers feel empowered to contribute ideas and seek advancement. Innovation metrics improve as diverse perspectives strengthen the company's competitive edge. Inclusion isn't just morally right, Amara tells the Harvard Business Review. It's strategically essential. Homogeneous thinking produces mediocre results. Marcus's attempts to rebuild his career fail repeatedly. Background checks reveal his termination for discrimination. Professional networks distance themselves from the controversy. His LinkedIn profile becomes a liability rather than an asset. 6 months later, he sits in a job placement center, forced to consider positions far below his previous status. The counselor reviews his options grimly. Executive positions are unlikely given your background. Have you considered career transition to a different industry? His marriage deteriorates under financial and social stress. Friends stop returning calls. Country club membership becomes unaffordable. The house goes on the market. I was protecting company standards, he tells his therapist. How did that become discrimination? What standards were you protecting? The therapist asks. And from whom? The question haunts him. In quiet moments, he begins recognizing the prejudices that guided his actions, the assumptions that seemed natural, professional, appropriate. But recognition comes too late. His reputation is destroyed, his career ended, his credibility evaporated. TechVault, meanwhile, thrives under renewed commitment to inclusion. Diverse hiring increases by 300%. Employee satisfaction reaches industry-leading levels. The company wins multiple awards for workplace excellence and social responsibility. Crisis can catalyze transformation, Amara reflects. Marcus Sterling inadvertently gave us the gift of clarity about our values and priorities. 1 year later, Marcus receives a certified letter that changes everything again. The certified letter arrives on a gray Tuesday morning, delivered to Marcus Sterling's cramped studio apartment in Tacoma, a far cry from his former Bellevue penthouse. Notice of deposition: Thompson versus Sterling et al. TechVault's legal team has filed a comprehensive lawsuit seeking damages for the hostile work environment Marcus created. The company demands compensation for legal costs, employee retention programs, and reputation management. Marcus stares at the documents with hollow eyes. His unemployment ran out months ago. His savings evaporated paying legal fees for cases he couldn't win. The Ferrari was repossessed. The Rolex sold on eBay. Mr. Sterling, his court-appointed attorney explains, they're seeking $2 million in damages. They have extensive documentation, video evidence, and witness testimony. $2 million? Marcus's voice cracks. I don't have 2,000. That's the point. This isn't about money, it's about accountability. The deposition takes place in a sterile conference room at Richards & Associates. Marcus sits across from Amara Thompson, whose quiet presence fills the space with undeniable authority. State your full name for the record, the court reporter instructs. Marcus James Sterling. His voice barely rises above a whisper. Richard Chen, representing TechVault, begins methodically. Mr. Sterling, do you recall the events of March 15th at TechVault Solutions? Yes. Please describe your interaction with Ms. Thompson. Marcus squirms in his chair. The video evidence plays on a monitor, showing every discriminatory word, every prejudiced assumption. Watching himself feels like witnessing a stranger's moral collapse. I made some mistakes. What kind of mistakes? I assumed things. Made judgments without proper information. Based on what factors did you make these assumptions? The question hangs like a noose. Every possible answer reveals his prejudices more clearly. Her appearance. Her presence in the office during business hours. What about her appearance led you to assume she was unqualified for corporate environments? Silence stretches painfully. His attorney touches his arm, reminding him he must answer. She was casually dressed. Not what I expected for executive interaction. You expected executive interaction from cleaning staff? No, I thought she was cleaning staff. Based on her race? Objection, his attorney interjects weakly. I'll rephrase, Richard continues. What specifically about Ms. Thompson suggested she was cleaning staff rather than an executive? Marcus realizes every answer destroys him further. The cleaning supplies, the timing. She was helping short-staffed facilities workers. Did you inquire about her role before making assumptions? No. Did you ask her name? No. Did you treat her with basic professional respect? Marcus stares at his hands. No. The deposition continues for 3 hours. Each question exposes another layer of discriminatory thinking. Video evidence contradicts his attempts to minimize his behavior. You told Ms. Thompson that people like her need to know their place, Richard reads from the transcript. What did you mean by people like her? I don't remember saying that. We have video evidence. Would you like to review it? The footage plays again. Marcus watches himself destroy his own career with poisonous words. I was having a bad day. The quarterly numbers were terrible. I wasn't thinking clearly. So discrimination is acceptable when you're stressed? No, that's not what I meant. What did you mean? Marcus has no answer. His attorney looks defeated. After the deposition, Marcus walks Seattle's streets aimlessly. His reflection in storefront windows shows a broken man, rumpled clothes, hollow eyes, the weight of consequences he never imagined. His phone buzzes with a text from his ex-wife's attorney. Final divorce papers ready for signature. Please confirm forwarding address. Even his children avoid him now, embarrassed by their father's public disgrace. Birthday calls go unanswered. Holiday invitations stop coming. He applies for a job at a chain restaurant, the first employer willing to consider someone with his background. The manager, a young woman named Destiny, reviews his application with skepticism. TechVault Solutions, VP of Operations. Why are you applying for line cook? Career transition, Marcus mumbles. She Googles his name, reads the news articles, watches the viral video of his discriminatory behavior. Her expression hardens. We don't hire people who treat others like trash. Good luck elsewhere. The pattern repeats across Seattle. His reputation precedes him everywhere. Even entry-level positions become inaccessible when employers discover his history. A year and a half after his termination, Marcus sits in a job counselor's office, forced to consider relocating to a different state where his notoriety might fade. Your skills are solid, the counselor admits. But your background makes you unemployable in this market. Have you considered genuine rehabilitation, community service, demonstrable change? Marcus enrolls in diversity training, not from conviction but from desperation. The facilitator, Dr. Jennifer Washington, doesn't coddle participants. Mr. Sterling, you're here because discrimination destroyed your career. But why are you really here? Court mandate, he answers honestly. Wrong answer. You're here because you never learned to see people as individuals rather than categories. Until you understand that, nothing changes. The training forces Marcus to confront truths he spent his life avoiding. His privileges, his prejudices, the pain he caused people who deserved better. I thought I was maintaining standards, he tells the group during a vulnerability exercise. Whose standards? Asks Maria, a Latina executive. And for whom? Marcus begins recognizing the systemic nature of his thinking. How corporate culture enabled his discrimination. How institutional racism shaped his worldview. But recognition doesn't restore his career. Redemption remains elusive when consequences are permanent. 3 years after his termination, Marcus encounters Amara at a Seattle coffee shop. The Marcus Sterling incident becomes a catalyst for transformation across Seattle's tech corridor. Within months, similar stories emerge from other companies. Executives terminated, policies reformed, cultures examined under new scrutiny. Amazon implements mandatory bias training for all management levels. Microsoft establishes anonymous reporting systems with direct board oversight. Google's Seattle office creates employee resource groups with executive sponsorship and real budget authority. The Sterling case changed everything, explains Dr. Sarah Kim, organizational psychologist at University of Washington. It showed that accountability could be swift, decisive, and career-ending. Suddenly, discriminatory behavior carried real consequences. Industry conferences feature new programming. Inclusive leadership in practice becomes a standard track at tech summits. The Sterling video, Amara's experience edited for educational purposes, becomes required viewing in corporate training programs nationwide. Harvard Business School adds the Tech Vault case to its curriculum. Students analyze the decision trees, the legal implications, the cultural transformation that followed. Traditional approach would be sensitivity training and policy updates, Professor Janet Richardson tells her class. But authentic change requires systemic overhaul and zero-tolerance enforcement. Tech Vault Solutions emerges as the gold standard for inclusive corporate culture. Employee retention reaches industry best levels. Innovation metrics surge as diverse perspectives strengthen product development. We're not perfect, Amara tells a Harvard Business Review interviewer, but we're intentional. Every hiring decision, every promotion, every policy reflects our commitment to authentic inclusion. The company's diversity statistics tell the story. Minority representation in leadership roles increased 300% within 2 years. Employee satisfaction scores consistently rank top 5 industry-wide. Customer loyalty strengthens as values alignment drives purchasing decisions. Other CEOs seek Amara's guidance. She establishes the Thompson Institute for Workplace Equity, offering consulting services and leadership development programs. Change requires courage, she tells executives at the Institute's inaugural conference. Comfort zones protect mediocrity. Excellence demands inclusive perspectives. The legal precedent strengthens employment protections. The EEOC cites Thompson v. Sterling in subsequent discrimination cases. Corporate liability for executive misconduct becomes clearly established. Law firms develop new specializations around workplace equity litigation. Employment attorneys report increased demand for discrimination prevention rather than damage control. Companies realize prevention costs less than litigation, explains attorney David Park. One Marcus Sterling can destroy decades of reputation building. Professional associations update ethical standards. The Society for Human Resource Management establishes new certification requirements, emphasizing bias recognition and inclusive leadership. Tech industry recruiting evolves. Headhunters screen for inclusion track records. Reference checks include questions about respectful behavior and cultural fit with diverse teams. We can't afford another Sterling situation, explains executive recruiter Lisa Chang. One discriminatory hire can poison entire organizations. Academic research expands around workplace discrimination and its economic impact. Studies show that inclusive companies outperform homogeneous competitors across multiple metrics: innovation, retention, customer satisfaction, financial performance. Dr. Maria Rodriguez publishes groundbreaking research on the Sterling effect, how visible accountability for discrimination creates positive cultural change throughout entire industries. Fear of consequences initially drives compliance, her study concludes. But sustained practice develops authentic appreciation for diverse perspectives and inclusive leadership. Social media amplifies the accountability message. LinkedIn posts about workplace equity receive unprecedented engagement. Twitter threads dissecting discriminatory behavior go viral regularly. Young professionals entering the workforce carry higher expectations. They research company cultures before accepting offers. Glassdoor reviews increasingly focus on inclusion and respect rather than just compensation. Gen Z won't tolerate what previous generations accepted, notes workplace culture consultant James Wilson. They view inclusion as a minimum standard, not an aspirational goal. Government agencies strengthen enforcement mechanisms. EEOC investigations become more thorough, penalties more severe. Congressional hearings examine corporate accountability for discriminatory cultures. Policymakers reference the Sterling case when proposing new legislation around workplace equity and corporate responsibility. The transformation extends beyond Seattle. Tech hubs in Austin, Denver, and Raleigh implement similar accountability measures. The Sterling standard spreads across industries: finance, healthcare, manufacturing, entertainment. No one wants to be the next Marcus Sterling, observes corporate culture researcher Dr. Angela Thompson. Public humiliation and career destruction create powerful deterrents. 3 years later, workplace discrimination incidents in Seattle tech companies decline by 70%. Anonymous reporting increases as employees trust that concerns will be addressed seriously. Exit interviews reveal changing dynamics. Employees leave for better opportunities rather than fleeing toxic cultures. Retention rates improve across demographic groups. As industry transformation accelerates, Amara reflects on how one moment of injustice reshaped corporate America. 5 years later, Amara Thompson stands in the same corner office where Marcus Sterling revealed his character. Sunlight streams through spotless windows, illuminating awards for workplace excellence lining the walls. The space feels transformed, not just renovated, but spiritually renewed. TechVault Solutions now employs 18,000 people across 4 continents. The company's commitment to inclusion drives innovation, attracts top talent, and strengthens client relationships worldwide. She picks up a framed photograph from her desk, the first graduating class of the Thompson Institute for Workplace Equity. 50 executives from diverse industries, armed with tools to build inclusive cultures in their own organizations. "We're not teaching sensitivity," she told that inaugural class. "We're teaching strategic thinking. Inclusion isn't kindness, it's competitive advantage." Her reflection catches in the window glass. 5 years of intentional leadership have deepened her understanding of power's responsibility. Building a company wasn't enough. Sustaining inclusive culture requires constant vigilance and authentic commitment. The morning brings familiar rhythms. Amara walks the floors regularly now, engaging employees at every level. No more surprise inspections, just consistent presence and genuine connection. In the facility's break room, she finds Miguel Torres reviewing schedules with his expanded team. His promotion to Director of Operations came with significant budget authority and direct board reporting. "Morning, Miguel. How's the team?" "Growing strong," he smiles. 3 new supervisors this quarter, all promoted from within, and the employee satisfaction scores. "Best in company history," Amara finishes. "You've built something special here." "We all did. After Sterling, people felt safe to contribute ideas, report problems, suggest improvements. Turns out folks had plenty to say when they knew someone would listen." Marcus Sterling's name rarely surfaces in conversation now. His behavior serves as historical cautionary tale rather than present concern. The company moved beyond his toxicity to become something he could never have imagined. Amara continues her walk, stopping in the engineering pod where Priya Patel leads a team of 12 developers on the company's flagship AI project. 3 years ago, Marcus blocked her promotion, claiming clients weren't ready for diverse leadership. "Amara!" Priya waves from her glass-walled office. "Perfect timing. Want to see the quarterly innovation metrics?" The numbers tell stories of transformation. Employee-generated patents increased 400%. Cross-functional collaboration strengthened. Customer satisfaction reached industry-leading levels. "Inclusion works," Priya explains. "Different perspectives solve problems homogeneous teams miss. Marcus was wrong about everything. Diverse leadership isn't a risk, it's a requirement." The afternoon brings Amara's monthly call with Harvard Business School, where the Tech Vault case study continues evolving. Professor Richardson provides updates on student analyses and corporate applications. "Your decision to let the situation unfold rather than intervene immediately remains controversial," Richardson notes. "Some students argue you should have stopped it sooner." "Maybe," Amara acknowledges, "but stopping individual incidents doesn't address systemic problems. I needed to understand the full scope of our cultural failure before implementing comprehensive solutions." The strategy proved effective. Marcus's behavior exposed institutional weaknesses that superficial fixes couldn't address. His termination became the catalyst for transformational change rather than cosmetic adjustment. Evening finds Amara in her penthouse apartment, reviewing applications for the Thompson Foundation's scholarship program. 200 minority students will receive full funding for STEM education, continuing her commitment to building inclusive pipelines. Her phone displays a news alert. Marcus Sterling files personal bankruptcy. The brief article details his financial collapse, career destruction, and ongoing legal obligations. She feels no satisfaction in his downfall. His behavior was poisonous, his termination necessary, but his human suffering brings no joy. Justice required accountability, not cruelty. Some stories end with villains receiving comeuppance. Better stories end with systems improving, so future villains find no fertile ground for their toxicity. Amara closes her laptop and moves to the window overlooking Seattle's glittering skyline. Dozens of companies have implemented inclusive leadership programs inspired by Tech Vault's transformation. Hundreds of executives received bias training. Thousands of employees work in more respectful environments. One moment of injustice became a catalyst for industry-wide change. Marcus Sterling's discrimination revealed uncomfortable truths about corporate culture that demanded confrontation. The real victory wasn't his termination. It was the culture that emerged from the ashes of his behavior. A culture where Miguel Torres leads with authority, earned through competence. Where Priya Patel innovates without artificial barriers. Where every employee contributes their authentic talents without fear of discrimination. Change requires courage, but courage creates momentum. Individual actions inspire systemic transformation. Personal accountability drives institutional improvement. Marcus Sterling thought he was maintaining standards. Instead, he revealed how low those standards had fallen. His downfall elevated everyone else. Your character is revealed not in moments of comfort, but in how you treat those you perceive as powerless. True leadership means using your influence to lift others up, not tear them down. Word count: 638, 640. CTA and T's. The story of Amara Thompson and Marcus Sterling resonates far beyond Tech Vault Solutions. It speaks to anyone who's faced discrimination, witnessed injustice, or wondered whether accountability truly exists in corporate America. CTA. Should companies have zero tolerance for racism? Let me know where you're watching from. This isn't just entertainment, it's education. Every workplace contains both Amara's and Marcus Sterling's. The difference lies in which behaviors receive reward and which face consequences. Drop A in the comments if you believe in standing up to workplace discrimination. Share this story with someone who needs to see that justice, though sometimes delayed, can be decisive and transformational. Your voice matters in this conversation. Have you witnessed discrimination in your workplace? Share your experiences below. Tell us about leaders who demonstrated real inclusive leadership or executives who revealed their true character under pressure. Tag a boss who demonstrates authentic respect for all employees. Ring that notification bell to never miss stories of justice and empowerment. Hit subscribe if you believe accountability should have real consequences. This story proves that power reveals character, but character ultimately determines destiny. Marcus Sterling thought his position protected his prejudices. Instead, his prejudices destroyed his position. Amara Thompson could have hidden behind her title, avoided difficult confrontations, maintained comfortable distance from operational reality. Instead, she chose presence, accountability, and transformational leadership. The ripple effects continue spreading. Every company that implements inclusive policies, every executive who chooses respect over dominance, every employee who reports discrimination rather than enduring it, they all contribute to systemic change. But change requires vigilance. Progress demands participation. Justice needs voices willing to speak truth to power. Share this video across your social media platforms with #workplacejustice, #inclusive leadership, #accountability matters. Let's build communities committed to dignity, respect, and equal opportunity. Your engagement helps these stories reach people who need inspiration, hope, and evidence that toxic behavior carries real consequences. Together, we create workplaces where everyone thrives regardless of race, gender, background, or appearance. Coming up next, homeless veteran saves CEO's daughter, gets rewarded with $1 million company. A story of sacrifice, recognition, and life-changing gratitude that will restore your faith in human decency. A decorated Marine, dismissed by society, faces a moment that tests everything he believes about honor and service. When a kidnapping unfolds before his eyes, he must choose between safety and sacrifice. The CEO whose daughter he saves doesn't offer thanks. She offers transformation. But can someone who lost everything truly accept the gift of a new beginning? It's a story about second chances, hidden valor, and the moment when doing right leads to rewards beyond imagination. You won't believe how this veteran's courage changes not just his life, but an entire corporate empire. Don't miss this incredible journey from desperation to redemption. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you're first to witness this amazing transformation. If this story of Amara and Marcus moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your support helps us reach more people with these important stories of justice, accountability, and positive change. Remember, every interaction reveals character. Every choice shapes culture. Every voice can demand better. Together, we create workplaces where respect isn't negotiable, inclusion isn't optional, and discrimination has nowhere to hide. Keep fighting the good fight. Never let anyone diminish your worth. And always remember, true leaders lift others up. I'll see you in the next story, where justice once again finds a way to prevail. Stay strong. Stay hopeful. Brenda Irving reaches for Vanilla Ensure when a hand clamps her shoulder like a vice. Step away from the bag. Officer Bennett towers over her, badge 3519 gleaming like a threat. To him, she's simple math. Black woman, canvas tote, upscale store guilty. I'm shopping for my mother. Sure you are. His fingers dig into her arm. They all have stories. 22 years she's worn a badge, but he won't check her ID. Just sees what he wants to see. 30 phones rise. Larry Chen captures every second. 23 minutes that will hit 3 million views by dawn. Bennett doesn't know what he just triggered. Doesn't know this arrest will unearth buried secrets worth $127,000, drag names from the shadows, expose a conspiracy reaching the chief's office, all because he refused to look at one ID. Some mistakes destroy everything. What happens when the system handcuffs itself? The cover-up goes deeper than you think. 6 hours earlier, Brenda stands in her mother's kitchen. Helen Irving stares at scrambled eggs going cold. Mama, you need to eat. Helen looks up, lost. Do I know you? Every time it cuts. It's me, Mama. Brenda. Brenda's at work. She's a police officer. I am. I'm here now. She guides the fork to Helen's mouth. Count the morning pills. 8 medications that can't stop forgetting. I'll be back by 3. Mrs. Chen checks at noon. Helen nods. Already gone again. Riverside Market. Upper Kirby. Where the parking costs $20 and the produce gleams under designer lighting. Brenda wears sweatpants, University of Houston hoodie, hair pulled back. It's her day off. She knows what she looks like here. Knows the math people do. Black woman, casual clothes, canvas tote, wrong neighborhood. She's done this math herself. 22 years on the force. She's seen every calculation. Profiled every profile. At the supplement aisle, she finds Ensure, Vanilla, Mama's favorite. She slides it into her tote. The same bag she's carried for years. Reusable. Better for the earth. Mama taught her that. A white woman passes. Glances at the tote. At Brenda. Away. Brenda recognizes the look, the suspicion, the assumption. She's a police captain. She knows what comes next. That's when Bennett appears. Heavy footsteps. Deliberate. Predatory. His hand clamps her shoulder. Ma'am. Step away from the bag. She turns slowly. Assesses. Officer Bennett. 6'2", 200 pounds. Hand near his weapon. Partner Hayes 10 feet back. Younger. Black. Eyes screaming run. I'm shopping, she says. Calm. Clear. I observed you conceal merchandise. Rehearsed line. Said it before. We'll say it again. Empty the bag. Now. I'm about to pay. Empty it. The store shifts. People stop. Turn. Phones rise like a reflex. A teenager opens TikTok. 11 seconds. Caption. Cop harassing black woman at Riverside. Posts. Within seconds, 23 shares. Another phone. Twitter. This is happening right now in Houston. Riverside Market. Hashtag shopping while black. The algorithm stirs. Starts pushing. Brenda reaches for her wallet. Slow. Visible. I'm Police Captain Brenda Irving, gang and narcotics. My badge is in my... Bennett's hand shoots out, grabs her wrist. Don't reach. I'm telling you who I am. Check my ID. Captain? He smirks. In sweatpants? Sure, lady. They all have stories. Hayes steps forward, hesitant. Kyle, maybe we should... You're questioning me, Hayes? Bennett's voice drops. Threat clear. Hayes freezes. Mouth open. Words die. The store manager pushes through. Larry Chen, 58 3 locations. Knows Brenda from the community meeting last year when his store got robbed. Officer, I know Mrs. Irving. She shops here twice a week. There's no issue. Bennett doesn't look at him. Sir, step back or I'm citing you for obstruction. Obstruction? She's buying groceries for her sick mother. Last warning. Someone in the crowd. Just let her show ID. Another voice. Why won't he look at her badge? A woman pulls her daughter close. Don't stare, baby. But everyone stares. Everyone films. Larry pulls out his phone, starts recording. Full frame, clear audio. Brenda counts silently. 2 officers, 30 witnesses, dozen phones, 2 body cams. She knows this math too. Knows what happens when someone moves wrong, breathes wrong, exists wrong. Her son Darius flashes through her mind. 16, stray bullet. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong skin. She became a cop to stop that, to fix that. Now she's living it. Brenda's jaw tightens. She's written the de-escalation manual, taught it to hundreds of officers, and Bennett's shredding every page. Hayes shifts his weight. Left foot, right foot. Can't stay still. His hand hovers near his radio. Call the supervisor? End this? But that breaks the line. Turns on a partner. Bennett glares. Hayes's hand drops. Bennett pulls handcuffs from his belt. Metal catches the light, catches every camera. Turn around, he says. Command. Please do not modify it. Brenda looks at Larry, still filming. At Hayes, looking away. At the phones held by 30 strangers who will make this moment immortal. She turns around. The teenager's TikTok, 850 shares now. The Twitter post, #Riverside Arrest, starting to trend. Bennett reaches for her wrists. The internet is already watching. I'm Captain Brenda Irving. Clear, steady. Every word is measured. Badge 0856, Gang and Narcotics Division. Call Sergeant Rodriguez, downtown precinct. He'll confirm. Bennett pulls handcuffs from his belt. Badge 0856? Lady, that's a drug dealer I busted last month. Nice try. That's not my badge number. You misheard. Call my division. What I heard is you lying. He moves closer. Turn around. Now. Brenda doesn't move. Calculates. If she resists, it escalates. Someone gets hurt. If she complies, she's in handcuffs on camera. Black woman arrested. The image spreads before truth catches up. Officer Bennett. She keeps her voice level, the interrogation voice, 22 years of control. I'm telling you clearly, I am a police captain. I'm ordering you to verify my identity before you do something you'll regret. Ordering me? Bennett steps into her space. You just committed 2 felonies. Assault, impersonation, pick a cell. I didn't assault anyone. I'm trying to show you my ID. Too late for that. He grabs her arm, spins her around, pulls her hands behind her back. The handcuffs click. Steel bites. Cold metal sinks into her wrists, too tight, deliberately tight. The familiar weight she's placed on suspects 1,000 times now cuts her own skin. Metallic smell mixes with Bennett's sour sweat. Sharp, acrid. She knows this scent. Interrogation rooms, holding cells, the stink of power and fear. But now she's the suspect. Her mind flashes. Darius, age 12, asking, Mama, why do you gotta arrest people? She'd said, Baby, because someone has to protect the innocent. Now she's the one who needs protecting. From a badge. She doesn't flinch. Won't give Bennett that satisfaction. But her chest tightens, breath shallow, the cuffs bite deeper with every small movement. 22 years. She's worn this badge with pride. And this is how it ends? In handcuffs? Shopping? Hayes steps forward. Kyle, we should verify. You're questioning me, Hayes? Bennett doesn't look at him. Eyes fixed on Brenda. Handle your sector. I got this. The crowd erupts. This is wrong. He won't even check her ID. A phone screen lights up. Wait. It's trending. Number 3, Houston. Hashtag Riverside arrest. Larry's live stream counter climbs. 2,400 viewers. Comments flood. That's Bennett. Badge 3519. How many others has he done this to? The internet is doing what the department won't. Counting. Remembering. Documenting. Bennett ignores them. Pushes Brenda toward the exit. Her tote falls. Contents spill. The Ensure carton. Her wallet. Car keys. Her mother's pill organizer. Rainbow compartments for morning, noon, evening, bedtime. A photo slides out. Creased. Worn. Carried every day. Darius in his football uniform, junior year. Number 23, before the bullet found him. A teenage girl picks it up. Stares. Eyes well. This is Darius Irving. He died 3 years ago. My brother knew him. She's his mom. Brenda's throat closes. Not now. Don't cry. Darius wouldn't want tears. He'd want strength. Bennett doesn't stop. Shoplifters use sympathy. Dead kids. Sick parents. Classic con. Larry's voice cracks. That's her son! Killed in a drive-by. She became a cop because of it. Everyone in 5th Ward knows Captain Irving. Bennett pauses. Look at Larry. The phone is still recording. View count. 3,100. You're filming a police operation. Delete that or I'm citing you. For documenting the truth? Delete it. Final warning. Larry's hands shake, but he keeps filming. I know my rights. So does she. Brenda speaks. Calm. Measured. The voice that breaks suspects. Officer Bennett? You're making a mistake. I'm not resisting. I'm complying. But when this is sorted out, remember, I gave you multiple opportunities to verify my identity. Bennett leans close. Voice drops. Only she hears. You people always think you're special. Always think rules don't apply. Well, they do. And I enforce them. The words hit body cam. She sees the red light. Recording. Good. He walks her toward the patrol car. Hand on her head. Not guiding. Shoving. Her head hits the door frame. Not hard enough to injure. Hard enough to send a message. Metal cuts deeper. Her wrists throb. She breathes through it. Counts breaths like Mama taught her. Think about Helen at home. Mrs. Chen checking at noon. Evening pills at 6. Hayes opens the back door. Helps her in. Gentler than Bennett. Whispers, this isn't the first time. I should have spoken up before. I'm sorry. Brenda meets his eyes. Young. Terrified. Officer Hayes? When this is over, I'll remember you tried. The radio crackles. Dispatch. Unit 12, what's your 20? Bennett keys up. Riverside Market. Code 4. 1 in custody for theft and impersonating an officer. Static. Then. Copy. Description of an individual in custody? Bennett hesitates. Look at Brenda in the rearview mirror. Really looks for the first time. Female, black, 40s, claims to be... He stops. Unit 12, describe the individual. Long pause. Phones still recording outside. Crowd pressing closer. Someone yells, 5,000 watching live. Claims to be someone in the department. More static. Then a different voice. Familiar. Sharp. Sergeant Rodriguez. Unit 12. Describe her specifically. Physical description. Bennett's throat works. Female. Black. 5'7". Short hair. Silence. Every second stretches. Then Rodriguez's voice. Cold. hard, barely controlled. Does she have a scar above her left eyebrow? Bennett looks in the mirror. See it. The scar. I am 12 years old. Domestic violence call. Suspect's bottle. 3 stitches. Badge of service. Affirmative, Bennett says, voice cracking. The world stops. Kyle! Rodriguez's voice drops. Dangerous. Tell me you didn't arrest Captain Irving. Bennett's face drains white. 5,000 people watch it happen. The world stops. Hayes closes his eyes. Whispers. Oh, God. Bennett sits frozen. Radio still keyed. Everyone is listening. The crowd. The cameras. 5,000 live stream viewers. Unit 12, respond! Rodriguez's voice was sharp. Bennett finds words. Barely. She didn't identify herself properly. She what? Rodriguez nearly shouts. That's Captain Irving. Gang and narcotics. 22 years. Your captain, Bennett. The crowd erupts. He arrested a police captain. That's racial profiling. The phone screen lights up. Twitter trending, #1 nationwide. Hashtag Captain Irving. Another voice. CNN breaking news. They're showing it live. Someone holds up the screen. Chiron. Houston officer arrests own police captain. Bennett's face drains. White. Pale. He looks at cameras. At badges watching online. 22 years on the force. Pension 3 years away. All crumbling. The house he's paying off. His daughter's college fund. The retirement cabin in Colorado. Gone. Because he wouldn't look at an ID. She sits in the back seat. Silent. Hands cuffed. Wrists bleeding. Watching him realize what he's lost. Hayes steps back. Hand reaches for the radio. Subtle. Brenda sees it through the grate. His voice was low. Turned away. Shaw. We have a situation at Riverside Market. Captain Irving. She's causing problems. Need advice. Brenda's stomach drops. Hayes called Shaw. Lieutenant Gregory Shaw. Internal Affairs. The one who buried complaints. Her last ally, calling the enemy. The crowd doesn't hear. But she does. Every word through the car's thin walls. Shaw's voice crackles back. What kind of problems? She's making accusations. Getting the crowd worked up. It's bad, Lieutenant. Keep her contained. I'll handle Irving. Document everything she says is insubordinate. We'll bury this. Brenda's heart pounds. Betrayal. Complete. Even Hayes. The system protects itself. Again. Hayes turns back, catches her eye through the grate, and winks. His hand moves, shows his phone, screen visible, red recording dot, audio recording in progress. Her breath catches. Hayes approaches Bennett. Loud now. For everyone. You heard Lieutenant Shaw. We document everything. Every word Captain Irving says. Every accusation. All of it. Bennett nods. Desperate. Yeah. Document it. Hayes holds the phone up. Recording visible. Captain Irving, please repeat your accusations against Officer Bennett for the record. Lieutenant Shaw wants everything documented. The crowd leans in. Larry's stream. 6,500 viewers. She understands. Hayes isn't betraying her. He's trapping Shaw. Officer Bennett, badge 3519 refused to verify my identity 3 times. He grabbed me, called me a liar, handcuffed me, assaulted me, shoved my head into his car, while Lieutenant Gregory Shaw has buried 47 previous complaints against him. Hayes keeps recording. And you claim Lieutenant Shaw has done this before? Shaw closed every Bennett complaint, 47 times, insufficient evidence, every single time. Bennett's eyes widened. Hayes, what are you? Hayes turns, shows phone to Bennett, recording. You heard the lieutenant. Document everything. This is everything. The crowd catches on. Someone shouts, "He's recording internal affairs." Hayes is exposing the cover-up. Larry's stream explodes. View count, 7,200. Comments flooding. Hayes plays the audio. Loud, clear. Shaw's voice for everyone. "Keep her contained. I'll handle Irving. We'll bury this." The crowd erupts. Phones up, recording, sharing. Internal Affairs is covering up. Shaw just confessed. Houston heat presses down. Bennett's sweat isn't exertion now. I panic. Hayes too. But different. His is the sweat of someone who just burned every bridge. Rodriguez's SUV pulls up. Fast. Lights flashing. Tires screech. He exits before the car stops. 53. Gray temples. 28 years. Brenda's mentor. See her. Handcuffed. Blood on wrists. Eyes red with rage barely contained. Bennett. Hayes outside. Now. They comply. Rodriguez gets in their faces, jabbing finger, voice low but cutting. "You just arrested the woman who wrote the training manual. 22 years. Gone because you wouldn't look at an ID. You're done, Bennett." Hayes speaks. "Sergeant, there's something you need to hear." Play the recording. Shaw's voice, crystal clear. "Keep her contained." "I'll handle Irving. We'll bury this." Rodriguez's face goes from rage to shock. "Shaw said that? Just now?" "Yes, sir." He doesn't know I recorded it, but now everyone knows. Rodriguez looks at Hayes, at phone recording, at 8,000 viewers watching. Jesus Christ. He runs hand through hair. This goes all the way up, and he approaches Brenda's door. Open it. Kneels. My eyes are wet now. "Brenda, I'm so sorry." "Document first," she says. Photos. Timestamp. These marks. The blood. Everything. He nods. Take out the phone. Photographs the handcuffs, her wrists, red welts, metal biting skin, blood where it broke through. Timestamp visible. March 15th, 2024, 2:53 p.m. Larry's live stream catches it. 8,000 viewers. Comments exploding. Rodriguez unlocks them. Relief immediate. She rolls shoulders, flexes fingers. Blood flows back. Pain follows. Sharp. Real. He helps her out. "You need medical." "I'm fine." Hayes approaches, holds her belongings. Ensure wallet. Photo of Darius, number 23. Hand them to her. "Captain, I couldn't stay quiet anymore." My daughter's 5. Bennett pulled over my sister last month. Same thing. Scared her kids. I've been recording him for 3 months. Building evidence. Today, I got Shaw, too. She takes the items. Look at Hayes. Really looks. "Officer Hayes, how many stops did you record?" 40. Over 3 months. All the same pattern. Minorities, affluent neighborhoods, illegal searches. I was waiting for the right moment. You gave it to me. Larry steps forward. Phone up. "Captain Irving, I got everything. 23 minutes. Do you want the video?" She looks at the phone, sees herself, handcuffed, shoved, called a liar, treated like a criminal for shopping while black. "Yes, send it to me. Send it to everyone." Rodriguez touches her arm. "Brenda, let me drive you." 47 times, Jorge. Sharp, hard, final. He's made this mistake 47 times, and Shaw buried everyone. Rodriguez freezes. "What?" 47 citizen complaints. 0 sustained. 340,000 in settlements. You're his supervisor. You didn't know? Silence. She walks to her car. Crowd parts. Someone claps. Others join. Applause builds. 8,000 online ad emojis. Hearts, fists, flames. She doesn't acknowledge it. Opens the door. Look back at Bennett. He stands alone. No union. No partner. No Shaw to bury this. Just a man whose mistake went viral. And the lieutenant who protected him just confessed to the world. What happens when the blue wall starts cracking from inside? Brenda drives, hands tight on the wheel, wrists throbbing. Her phone explodes. Texts, calls. She ignores them all, except one. Chief Dawson. She answers. Chief. Brenda, Rodriguez briefed me. I'm deeply sorry. Are you? Bennett will be disciplined. 2 weeks suspension. Suspension. Brenda laughs. No humor. Like the other times? What other times? Pull his record, Chief. She hangs up. At a red light, she opens her laptop. Department database. Types. Bennett. Kyle. The file loads. Commendations. Officer of the month. Then, citizen complaints. 47 entries. Her hands shake. Not fear. Rage. She scrolls. David Johnson. Angela Torres. Teresa Williams. Thomas Baker. Black. Hispanic. Wealthy neighborhoods. Excessive force. Racial profiling. False arrest. Everyone. Case closed. Insufficient evidence. She digs deeper. Settlement records. 12 cases. 340,000 taxpayer money. Victims paid to disappear while Bennett kept his badge. Investigating officer. Lieutenant Gregory Shaw. 32 times. She runs Shaw's file. Brother-in-law. Daniel Foster. Police union attorney. There it is. Bennett Shaw Foster. The triangle protects predators. Her phone buzzes. News alert. Captain Irving video hits 2 million views. Another. Hashtag Captain Irving trending worldwide. Reddit thread. Let's find all of Bennett's victims. Anonymous DM. He did this to me too. 2018. Too scared to press charges. Another. Me too. 2020. They paid me $15,000 for silence. 47 complaints. Just the ones who came forward. Rodriguez calls. She answers. Brenda, go home. We'll talk tomorrow. Did you know? About the 47 complaints? Pause. Some of them? How many are some? 10, 20? How many times did you see his name and do nothing? Brenda, it's complicated. You trained me, mentored me, and you let him destroy people. She hangs up. Deletes his number. She pulls up to her mother's house. Enters. Helen stands in the kitchen. Stove burner on. No pot. Mama, the stove. Helen turns. Vacant eyes. Do I know you? Third time today. It's Brenda, Mama. Helen studies her face. No recognition. Then see the marks. Red welts on Brenda's wrists. Someone hurt you. I'm okay. No. Someone hurt you. You have to tell the police. Brenda's throat tightens. I am the police, Mama. Helen frowns, slips away. Brenda's at work. She's a police officer. Brenda turns off the stove, guides Helen to the couch, counts evening pills. Her phone buzzes. Text from unknown. Captain Irving, Attorney Sarah Morrison, ACLU, Texas. We should talk. Hayes. Captain, I have evidence. Body cam footage. Bennett doesn't know I kept. I'll testify. Larry. Video at 2.4 million. You're not alone. She looks at her mother, at the marks on her wrists. Her phone lights up with messages from people ready to fight. 47 people tried. The system crushed them. This time, the system loses. Brenda sits in the dark. Helen is finally asleep. Evening pills taken, night light glowing. Her phone hasn't stopped. Hundreds of messages, news requests, support, threats. She opens her laptop. Needs to understand what she's facing. Searches. Officer Kyle Bennett Houston. Articles appear. not about commendations. About victims. 2018. Officer involved in controversial stop. Charges dropped. 2020. HPD settles excessive force lawsuit. Officer name withheld. 2021. Family receives payout after wrongful arrest. The officer remains on duty. She clicks deeper. Court records. The 12 settlements. Victim impact statements sealed but accessible to command staff. Angela Torres, 34, nurse. He said I didn't belong in that neighborhood. Searched my car. Found nothing. Wrote to me anyway. Lost my job when the charge hit my record, even though I was dismissed. David Johnson, 28, teacher. He pulled me over for matching a description. No description was issued. Searched on the sidewalk. In front of my students' parents. Called backup like I was dangerous. I was going home from school. Teresa Williams, 41. Accountant. He arrested me for shoplifting. I had receipts. He said receipts can be faked. 6 hours in jail. Missed my daughter's birthday. DA dropped it immediately, but Bennett still has his badge. Her throat tightens. 12 victims paid off. 35 others closed with insufficient evidence. She opens Bennett's arrest statistics. 6 years of data. Total arrests, 823. Black individuals, 671. That's 82%. Hispanic individuals, 98. That's 12%. White individuals, 54. That's 6%. In a city that's 25% black, 44% Hispanic, 26% white. The numbers don't lie. Bennett hunts where he thinks he can. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. Heavy breathing. Then a voice. Distorted. Mechanical. But something familiar underneath. Back off, Captain. Or your mother. Accidents happen on Tuesdays. Corner store. She forgets where she is. Brenda's blood freezes. Who is this? The voice cracks. WVERS. God, I'm sorry. Recognition hits. Hayes? Breathing on the line. Then, they have my daughters, Captain. Photos of them. At school, at home. They said if I don't warn you. His voice breaks completely. They'll hurt my girls. 5 and 7 years old. They sent me pictures of them on the playground. Brenda's hands shake. Not fury, terror for him. Hayes, where are you? My car. Outside your house. I've been sitting here 20 minutes trying to make this call. They told me what to say. Give me a script. But I can't do this anymore. She goes to the window, sees his patrol car. Dark. One shadow inside. Come to the door. Now. Minutes later, Hayes stands on her porch. My face is wet. Hands trembling. He holds out his phone. Photos. His daughters. Timestamps from today. Playground. Their house. A man visible in the background. Watching. They sent these 2 hours ago. Said call you. Threaten your mother. Or they'd take the next pictures inside my house. Brenda pulls him inside. Who? Shaw? I don't know. Numbers blocked. But they knew about the body cam footage. I knew I recorded Bennett for 3 months. How would they know unless someone's been watching you too? Her phone buzzes. Voicemail. She plays it on speaker. Angela Torres, voice shaking. Captain Irving, they came to my work. Knew my schedule, my nursing license number. Said testify and I lose everything. I'm sorry. I can't. Message ends. Another voicemail. David Johnson. They're auditing my taxes. 7 years back. My lawyer says it's retaliation. I have kids. I'm sorry. Hayes sits, head in hands. We're all falling apart. They're picking us off one by one. Brenda's phone lights up. News alert. Captain Irving video hits 3.2 million views. DOJ announces a federal probe into Houston PD. Another, FBI Civil Rights Division opens investigation. Hayes looks up. FBI? She nods. And we're not falling apart. We're regrouping. She texts Sarah Morrison. Emergency. My house. Now. Bring security. Hayes. You have the footage. All 40 stops. Send it to me. Encrypted. Tonight. Larry. Keep that video up. Growing by 100,000 per hour. Don't take it down. Sarah arrives 30 minutes later. Private security with her. 2 former FBI agents. Brenda shows them everything. The threats. Hayes' photos. The victims backed out. Sarah makes calls. I'm activating a witness protection protocol. Private security for Hayes' family. For yours. For anyone who testified. Hayes' voice cracks. You can do that? The ACLU has resources, and you just gave us a federal conspiracy. Threatening witnesses across state lines. That's FBI jurisdiction. Text arrives. Unknown. Captain Irving, Special Agent Williams, FBI. Monitoring Houston PD 18 months. Your case is our opening. Call me. Brenda shows Sarah. That's the DOJ. Sarah's eyes light. They've been building a case. You just gave them probable cause. Brenda looks at Hayes. How many officers know about your footage? Just me. I kept it hidden. Personal phone. Not a department issue. Shaw doesn't know you have it? He knows I recorded something, but not how much. Not 40 stops worth. She makes decisions. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., Sarah's office. You bring every file. I bring financial records. Larry brings the viral video. We give it all to the FBI. Hayes nods. My daughters? Security stays with them 24/7. Sarah? Already arranged. My team's heading to your house now, Officer Hayes. Your wife and daughters will have protection tonight. Hayes' shoulders sag. Relief. Terror. Exhaustion. Brenda's phone buzzes. Reddit thread. Found 6 more Bennett victims. Ready to talk. Twitter. Hashtag Bennett56 trending worldwide. The internet is doing what they can't do alone. Building the case. Creating pressure. She opens laptop, creates document, pattern and practice. Officer Kyle Bennett and the system that protected him. Right until 3 a.m. Every complaint, every settlement, every connection. 47 pages, 1 for each victim. By dawn, her evidence is ready. Hayes' footage secured. Witnesses protected. FBI waiting. Shaw threatened them with silence. He's about to learn what happens when 47 voices speak at once. 6 a.m. Starbucks on Westheimer. Nearly empty. Hayes arrives first. Nervous. Checks the door constantly. Brenda enters. No uniform. Jeans. T-shirt. Baseball cap low. Hayes stands. Captain. Just Brenda. I'm on leave. She orders coffee. Sits. You have footage? Hayes slides a thumb drive across. Body cam files. 40 stops. 3 years. Bennett edited them before submitting. Edited how? Audio cuts. Video gaps. Timestamps missing. Brenda plugs it in. Open the first file. March 2022. Traffic stop. Black male. Suit and tie. Bennett. License and registration. The driver complies. Hands shake. David Anderson. You live in River Oaks? West University. Insurance agent. Visiting a client. Step out. Why? Now. Bennett searches him. Rough. Finds nothing. Tears through the car. Hayes' voice on camera. Kyle, there's nothing. Bennett keeps searching. Stops. Frustrated. You're free, but you shouldn't be here at night. Brenda pauses it. Illegal search. Stop 12. All like this. Next file. September 2023. Black woman. Shopping bags. Bennett. Show receipts. She hands 3. Everything matches. These could be fake. They're time-stamped. People fake receipts. Backup called. 40 minutes detained. No apology. Hayes's voice. Kyle, this is wrong. Bennett. Better safe. Brenda closes laptop. Why didn't you report it? I tried. Shaw called me in. Said Bennett has high arrest rates. The department needs him. Then said, Hayes recites it. Officer Hayes, you have a promising career. Don't ruin it by misunderstanding protocol. Maybe you need a different assignment. Then smiled. Shaw threatened you, without saying it. What changed? Phone, photo. 2 girls, 5 and 7. My daughters. Last month, Bennett pulled over my sister, scared her kids. Now my niece screams at the uniforms. Voice breaks. Not anymore. Can you testify? Might lose everything, but I can't tell my daughters to stand up if I don't. 9 a.m. Sarah Morrison's office, 10th floor. Sarah, 43. Sharp suit, Harvard degree visible. Captain Irving. Brenda, on leave. Conference table, document spread. Hayes sits. Bennett testified in 237 cases, 6 years. Convictions? Brenda closes eyes. Most. 189. Racial breakdown? Hayes. Black and Hispanic. 182 of 189. Silence hangs. Brenda's hands to temples. The DA knew. Never flagged him. Sarah clicks. Acquittals? 4831 challenged Bennett's testimony. Found lies. Manipulated evidence. Perjury. But the DA never pursued it. Prosecuting your witness destroys conviction rates. Open lawsuits. Brenda stands. Walk to the window. So they let him keep lying. Until 3 million watched. Brenda checks phone. Larry. 3.8 million views. CNN exclusive. Twitter. FBI probe. Hashtag Bennett58 vindicated. Reddit. DOJ listening. Change is happening. Pressure building. Money trail confirms conspiracy. Sarah displays a timeline. Shaw received overtime. Cross-referenced with Bennett complaints. March 2021 complaint. Shaw investigates. Closed. $3,200 overtime. July 2021. Complaint. Shaw closed. $2,800. 47 times. Total, $127,000. Hayes whistles. Payoff. Sarah nods. Shaw's brother-in-law is Foster. Union attorney, present at every Bennett hearing. Emails appear. Shaw to Foster, March 2023. Complaint handled. Bennett active. Quota secure. Foster to Shaw. August. Irving asking questions. Redirect ? Shaw. Handled. The chief agrees internally. Irving backs off. Brenda's fists ball. Blocking me for months. Since you first flagged him. Sarah opens the file. Union PAC donated $85,000 to Dawson. White signs every check. Same union defending Bennett, Hayes says. Same union keeping Shaw in Iowa. What do we need? Brenda asks. Testimony. Evidence we have. Victims willing to speak. But NDAS. Can we break those? Federal subpoena can. The phone buzzes. Text. Captain Irving, Special Agent Williams, FBI. Monitoring Houston PD 18 months. Your case is our opening. Shows Sarah. That's DOJ. 2 p.m. Conference call. Speakerphone center. Brenda. Sarah. Hayes. Captain Irving Williams here. Houston PD under review since January 2023. Excessive force. Profiling. Suppression. Your arrest confirms it. What do you need? Everything. Footage. Records. Settlements. We'll subpoena the 12 who took payouts. Pierce, NDAS. What happened to Bennett? Federal charges, civil rights violations, perjury, conspiracy. Prison time. Hayes leans in. Shaw? Foster? Chief? If we prove conspiracy, all will be exposed. Shaw for obstruction. Foster conspiracy. Chief enabled. Need airtight evidence. They'll have top lawyers. How long? 2 weeks of grand jury, trial 6 months. Sarah, public hearing, city council. Your play. We work as criminals. You work under public pressure. 2 fronts. Brenda nods. Hearing for immediate action. Federal for permanent justice. But Captain, they'll come after you. Audit cases. Dig into life. Discredit you. Let them look. We'll coordinate through Morrison. Contact within 24 hours. Call ends. The phone buzzes. Text. Photo loads. Mother's house. Recent shot. Helen through the kitchen window, making tea. Message. Last warning. Walk away. Brenda stares. Hands shake. Not fury, terror. They were there. While Mama sat alone, vulnerable. Sarah notices. What? My mother's house. Voice cracks. She has Alzheimer's. Wouldn't know danger. Would invite them in. Hayes stands. Call the FBI. Now. Breath. Deep. Terror hardens. Cold. Get Williams. Sarah dials. Speaker on. Captain? Another threat. Photo of my mother. Recently. She has Alzheimer's. Need witness protection. Today. Send everything. Team there for 2 hours. Thank you. Witness intimidation. Federal felony. When we find them, 5 years minimum. Find them. Hang up. Look at Sarah. Hayes. Emergency public hearing. This week. This ends now. Sarah types. Brenda texts Mrs. Chen. FBI coming in 2 hours. Let them in. Stay with Mama. Calls Williams back. Agent Williams, understand what we're dealing with. 47 complaints. $127,000 payoffs. $85,000 bribes. System protecting predators. I have evidence. Witnesses. Ready to expose all of it. Captain, the Civil Rights Division has waited 18 months for someone like you. Someone willing to break the blue wall. Then let's break it. She looks at Sarah. At Hayes. The evidence spread across the table. Downtown Houston through the window. Somewhere out there, Bennett thinks he's safe. Shaw thinks the system protects him. Foster thinks his law degree is armor. Dawson thinks his badge is immunity. Tomorrow, she brings the FBI to her house. Brings the witnesses Shaw intimidated. Brings the evidence they tried to bury. The internet is watching. 3.8 million and climbing. The blue wall kept secrets for 6 years. Not anymore. 8 a.m. Chief Dawson's office. Brenda enters. Civilian clothes. Her badge already surrendered yesterday. The chief sits behind a mahogany desk. Not alone. Union President Carl White. Attorney Daniel Foster. Lieutenant Gregory Shaw. The triangle. Waiting. The room smells like coffee and expensive cologne, power and protection, and Captain Irving. Chief gestures to a chair. Sit. She remains standing. I'll stand. White leans back. Street cop turned union boss. We're concerned, Captain. the social media circus, the attorney meetings, FBI contact. You're tracking me. We're protecting the department, Foster says. Smooth. Harvard polished. Officer Bennett filed a formal complaint. Harassment. Defamation. Abuse of rank. Brenda almost laughs. He arrested me. Assaulted me. Now he's the victim? Shaw stands, approaches, different from the others, softer. Captain Irving, Brenda, I understand your anger. I've been reviewing Bennett's file. You're right. There are inconsistencies. She watches him, careful. I want to help. Internal affairs shouldn't protect bad cops. He pulls out a USB drive. This is Bennett's complete file. Everything. The complaints I closed, the settlements, financial records, the real investigation. He extends it. Take it. Build your case. I'll testify that the system failed. That I failed. Brenda stares at the drive. This is what she needs. Evidence from inside. Shaw's eyes earnestly. I have a daughter too. 16. If Bennett did this to you, how many others? I can't live with that. She takes the USB. Why now? Because it's the right thing. And because you're going to win anyway, I'd rather be on the right side. Chief Dawson interrupts. Shaw, what the hell are you doing? What should have been done years ago? White stands, face red. Shaw, you give her that. The union can't protect you. I don't need protection. I need to sleep at night. Shaw looks at Brenda. Everything's on there. Build your case. I'll cooperate with the FBI. She pockets the drive. Thank you. The chief points to the door. All of you out. Now. Irving, you're still on leave. Shaw, we'll discuss this privately. Outside, hallway. Brenda walks fast, heart pounding. Shaw just gave her everything. Hayes waits by elevators. Captain, how'd it go? Shaw flipped. Give me Bennett's complete file. Hayes's eyes widened. Shaw? The same Shaw who buried 47 complaints? He said he wants to do the right thing. Something in Hayes's expression. Captain, be careful. Shaw doesn't do right things. She gets to her car, laptop out, plugs in the USB, files load, folders appear. Bennett complaints. Financial records. Settlement documents. She clicks the first folder. Screen flickers. Goes black. Text appears. Access denied. Files deleted. Her evidence folders. Gone. All of them. Hayes's body cam footage. Victim statements. Financial records. Everything. Wiped. The USB wasn't evidence. It was a virus. Shaw didn't flip. He sabotaged her. Her hands shake. Not fear. Rage. She calls Williams. Special Agent Williams, I need you to know. Lieutenant Shaw just gave me a USB drive claiming to be evidence. It was a virus. Deleted everything on my laptop, all my files. He just hacked and destroyed evidence in a federal investigation. Williams's voice was sharp. Are you certain Shaw gave you that drive? 4 witnesses, Chief Dawson, White, Foster Hayes. All saw him hand it to me. Captain, destroying evidence in a federal case is a felony. Shaw just gave us everything we needed. Don't touch that USB. We're sending cyber forensics to you now. She looks at the dead screen, then smiles. Shaw thought he was erasing her case. He just added federal evidence tampering to his charges. They're not just corrupt, they're desperate. Tuesday night, Brenda's house. 11:30 p.m. Helen sleeps. FBI agent stationed outside. Shadow through curtains. Brenda sits at the kitchen table. Tomorrow's testimony notes scattered. Hayes's footage queued. Everything is ready. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. Yes. Heavy breathing. Distorted voice. Last chance, don't show up tomorrow. or your mother has an accident on the way to the hearing. Her hand tightens on the phone. You touch her! We don't have to. Federal transport. Accidents happen. Think about it, Captain. Click. She forwards the recording to Williams, to Sarah. Immediate responses. Protection doubled. Federal escort secured. But her hands won't stop shaking. She walks to Helen's room, stands in the doorway. Watch her mother sleep. Peaceful. Unaware tomorrow her daughter risks everything. Helen stirs, eyes open. Lucid moments are rare now. Bren? You look tired. Brenda sits on the bed, takes her mother's hand. Big day tomorrow, Mama. You're fighting again. Helen's grip tightens. Like when Darius died. The name breaks something. Finally, Brenda slides to the floor, back against bed. Sobs come, silent, shaking. All the terror she's held for days. Career gone. Mother threatened. 22 years for nothing. Tomorrow she walks into that chamber and maybe loses everything. Maybe Mama gets killed. Helen's hand touches her hair, like when Brenda was small. Baby, you already won. You didn't let them make you quiet. But what if it's not enough? What if... Truth doesn't need power, just courage. Helen fades back, slips away. Brenda stays on the floor, staring at Darius's photo on the nightstand, number 58 jersey, the reason she became a cop, the reason she can't stop now. Her phone buzzes. Hayes. My daughters drew you a picture. Says, be brave, Captain Irving. See you tomorrow. Promise. Sarah. Council chambers packed. 6 states media. World watching. Larry. 4.5 million views. You've already changed everything. She stands, wipes her face, breathes. No badge, no backup, no guarantee. Tomorrow she walks in anyway. Because 47 people deserve more than her fear. Wednesday, 6 a.m. Brenda wakes. I didn't sleep, just closed eyes, listened to Helen breathing in the next room. In the bathroom mirror, she sees herself, dark circles. Last night's tears left marks. But her hands are steady now. The crying helped, emptied the fear. Today for Darius, for 47, for every person Bennett ever touched. The federal vehicle arrives at 7:30. Black SUV, 2 agents. Williams himself was in the passenger seat. Captain Irving, ready? She helps Helen into the back seat. Mama was confused. Doesn't understand the suits, the guns. Brenda, why are these men here? They're helping us, Mama. We're going somewhere important. Mrs. Chen meets them at City Hall, takes Helen to secure the waiting room. FBI posted outside. Brenda watches her mother disappear down the hallway, turns to Williams. If anything happens to me, nothing will happen. 50 agents in that building, you're safe. If anything happens, make sure she's taken care of. Mrs. Chen knows her medications. Williams nods. You have my word. 8:30 a.m. Sarah's temporary office. City Hall, 3rd floor. Hayes arrives. Uniform pressed, wife with him. 2 daughters holding his hands. The 5-year-old hands Brenda a drawing. Crayon. Stick figures. Be brave, Captain Irving. Brenda kneels, eye level. Thank you. I'll keep this with me. The girl hugs her, tight. My daddy says you're a hero. Hayes's eyes are red. They wanted to come. To see why Daddy has to do the right thing. Larry arrives. Laptop. Full video. 23 minutes that changed Houston. Angela Torres, David Johnson, Teresa Williams, 3 victims who stayed, 3 who refused more silence. Sarah spreads documents. Financial records go to every council member now. Shaw's payments, Foster's involvement, union donations. They'll see the numbers before you speak to them. Order of testimony? You open. Personal account. Hayes follows with body cam footage, then victims, their stories. Larry's video closes. Visual evidence they can't deny. Her phone buzzes. Unknown. Photo loads. Bennett in uniform. Gun on hip. Message. See you in there, Captain. She shows Williams. Restraining order in place. He's not allowed in the building. He's posturing, Sarah says. Trying to shake you, 9:45 a.m. 9. Outside council chambers. The crowd was massive. Hundreds. Overflow watching screens outside. Signs everywhere. 50 complaints equals 0 accountability. Badge not equal to immunity. Justice for Captain Irving. Black Lives Matter, Houston. NAACP. Community groups organized overnight. A teenager approaches. Black, maybe 16. Captain Irving? Brenda turns. Yes? My brother. Marcus. Bennett arrested him 2 years ago. Beat him up. Nothing happened. Thank you. For all of us. Others come forward. Quiet. Respectful. He did it to me. My sister. My father. More than 47. So many more. Hayes stands beside her. They've been waiting. You gave them a voice. 10 a.m. Council chambers. Packed. The chamber smells like old wood and nervous sweat. Camera shutters click. Constant, relentless. Air conditioning can't keep up with body heat. Media wall. Cameras everywhere. 6 states. International press. Council members take seats. 9 of them. President Morris at center. Chief Dawson front row. Alone. White and Foster are absent. Shaw back corner. Phone out. Texting someone. He looks up. Catches Brenda's eye. Smiles. Not friendly. Predatory. Williams leans to Brenda. We're watching him. He tries anything. We move. Morris gavels. This emergency hearing addresses allegations regarding Houston Police Department complaint procedures and Officer Kyle Bennett. Captain Brenda Irving will provide opening testimony. Brenda approaches the podium. No badge, no uniform, just the truth. Her hand shakes, reaching for the microphone. Just once. Brief. She thinks, what if they don't believe me? What if this isn't enough? Then sees Helen through a glass partition. Mrs. Chen holding her hand. Mama lucid, here to watch her daughter fight. Helen mouths, make it matter. Sees Hayes's daughters, front row, drawing clutched in small hands. See the teen who said, my brother Marcus. See the cameras. Houston, America, world. Enough. She adjusts the microphone. Steady now, look at the council. My name is Brenda Irving, 22 years with Houston PD. On March 15th, Officer Kyle Bennett arrested me for shopping while black. Pauses. Let it sink in. What I discovered after that arrest will show you how one bad cop stayed on the street for 6 years, how the system protected him, how taxpayers paid for his crimes, and how many people suffered because we looked away. Shaw's smile fades. Chief Dawson shifts in his seat. The cameras don't blink. The truth goes on record. Every word, every number, every name. Officer Kyle Bennett, badge 3519, arrested me for shoplifting. I was buying Ensure for my mother. I told him I was Police Captain Brenda Irving. He said I was lying. I asked him to verify. He refused. I showed him where my badge was. He said I was reaching. He handcuffed me. He shoved my head into his car. In front of 30 witnesses. The chamber is silent. Every eye on her. When I asked why he wouldn't check my identity, he said, "You people always think you're special." Those words are on his body camera. The timestamp is 2:43 p.m. She clicks the remote. The screen illuminates. Her wrists, red welts, purple bruising. Photographed by Sergeant Rodriguez, 8 minutes after arrest. Council members lean forward. Shaw stands, face red. This is a character assassination. I investigated every complaint properly. Morris gavels. Lieutenant Shaw, you're out of order. Out of order? She's lying. Those emails are out of context. Williams stands. Two agents move toward Shaw. Lieutenant, you're already in federal custody. Sit down or we will escort you out. Shaw's voice cracks. 30 years I've served. Sit. Down. Shaw sits. Hands shaking. Rage and fear fighting. Brenda continues. Voice steady. After my release, I accessed Officer Bennett's file. 47 complaints. I found patterns. Chart appears. Names. Dates. Demographics. 43 black citizens. 4 Hispanics. 0 white. All in affluent neighborhoods. She advances. Financial records. The city paid 12 settlements, $340,000, taxpayer money, while Bennett kept his badge. Murmurs ripple. Every complaint investigated by Lieutenant Shaw. Everyone closed. Insufficient evidence. Next slide. Shaw's overtime. Shaw received $127,000 over 6 years. Payments match complaint closures exactly. March 2021 complaint filed. Shaw closes it. 3,200 overtime hours. Pattern repeats 47 times. Chief Dawson stands. Tries salvage. Council President, Captain Irving experienced significant trauma. Her interpretation of standard procedures. Brenda's voice cuts through. Standard procedure paid Shaw $127,000 to bury complaints? Is that in the manual, Chief? Phones throughout chamber buzz. Can't silence them all. Reporter whispers to camera. Emails just went viral. Hashtag Shaw 127,000 trending worldwide. Dawson sits. Defeated. Brenda clicks. Emails appear. Shaw to Foster, March 2023. Another complaint handled. Bennett stays active. Quota secure. Audible gasps. Foster to Shaw, August. Irving asking questions. Redirect ? Shaw, handled. The chief agrees internally. Irving backs off. She looks at Dawson. He won't meet her eyes. Police union donated $85,000 to Chief Dawson's campaigns. Same union defending Bennett. Same union employing Foster. Same union protecting Shaw. Dawson's phone vibrates. Text from Mayor visible to those nearby. Resign. Now. His face drains. 28 years. Gone. Bennett made 823 arrests, 671 black individuals, 82%. In a city 25% black. Outside, a crowd erupts, chanting, "No more silence." This morning, the FBI arrested Shaw. Conspiracy, obstruction, witness intimidation. Morris was shocked. Shaw is in custody? As of 7 a.m., the FBI has everything. Brenda steps back. Officer Hayes will present body cam evidence. Hayes approaches. Plugs in drive. 40 stops. 12 minutes. Bennett targeting minorities. Illegal searches. Racial profiling. Undeniable. Hayes speaks. I'm Officer Gregory Hayes. I watched this for 3 years. Stayed quiet because Shaw threatened my career. I'm not quiet anymore. Larry Chen next. I'm Larry Chen. I filmed everything. 23-minute video plays. Brenda in handcuffs. Calm, professional. Bennett aggressive. Contemptuous. You people always think you're special. Silence when it ends. Angela Torres stands, voice shaking. Bennett said I didn't belong in my neighborhood. Where I've worked 12 years. Searched my car. My daughter is in the back seat, 5 years old, crying. Mommy, why is the police hurting us? It took $15,000 to forget her tears. I can't forget any more. She breaks, crying. David Johnson stands. I'm a teacher. Bennett did it in front of my students' parents. One by one. 12 victims. Despite fear. Despite threats. Teresa Williams, Marcus's brother. Others whose names Bennett never bothered learning. They speak. They refuse silence. Morris gavels. This hearing is adjourned for emergency deliberation. Council reconvenes in 1 hour. Outside, live stream viewers, 6.2 million. Hashtag Bennett, 56, trending #1 worldwide. Inside, Dawson slumps. Shaw stares ahead. Broken. The truth destroyed them in 47 minutes. 3 months later. Brenda stands outside Riverside Market. Same store, same Ensure aisle. She wears her uniform, new rank, Deputy Chief of Reform and Accountability. Inside, she picks up Ensure. Vanilla. For Mama. Larry sees her. Approaches. Deputy Chief Irving. Still can't believe it. Just Brenda, Larry. A woman approaches. Black, mid-40s, hesitant. Chief Irving? My son. Bennett arrested him 5 years ago. Destroyed his college scholarship. Thank you. For all of us. Brenda's throat tightens. What's your son's name? Marcus. He's at community college now, working his way back. Marcus, the brother the teenager mentioned. Full circle. Tell him to come see me. We have scholarship programs now for victims of police misconduct. The woman's eyes fill. Thank you. Thank you. Outside, Officer Hayes waits. Sergeant now. Training Division. Ready, Chief? Ready. They drive to headquarters. New training facility. Reform program she designed. 47 recruits stand inside. Diverse. Eager. Hopeful. The number is deliberate. 47 complaints. 47 new officers. What Bennett destroyed, she rebuilt. She addresses them. I'm Deputy Chief Irving. 3 months ago, Officer Kyle Bennett arrested me for shopping while black. He had 47 complaints. The system protected him, until citizens demanded better. She pauses. Look at each face. You're here because Houston demanded better. Every complaint now gets external review. Body cams can't be edited. Early warning system flags patterns. And if you see misconduct, you speak, or you're out. Hayes steps forward. I stayed quiet for 3 years. Watched Bennett target people. Afraid to speak because Lieutenant Shaw threatened my career. Shaw's in federal prison now. 8 years. My silence protected a predator. Your courage will protect communities. After briefing, Brenda drives home. Helen waits. Mrs. Chen made lunch. Mama's lucid today. Rare now, precious. Baby, I'm proud of you. Brenda sits beside her. Take her hand. Mama's grip is weaker than before. Alzheimer's steals more each day. But today, at this moment, Helen knows. I wish Darius could see this, Mama. He does, baby. He sees. Helen touches Brenda's face. You made it matter. Just like I said. Brenda's phone pings. News alert. Officer Kyle Bennett sentenced. 12 years federal prison. Judge, badge does not equal immunity. Bennett, 12 years. Shaw, 8 years. Foster disbarred. Dawson resigned. White stepped down. DOJ oversight for 5 years. She closes the phone. Look at her mother. Helen drifting again, back into the fog. But Brenda holds on, to this moment, to her mother's pride, knowing Darius would approve. Angela Torres returned to nursing. David Johnson teaches again. Teresa Williams is no longer afraid. 12 victims rebuilding, no longer silent. And 47 young officers are learning the right way. To protect, to serve, to see people, not stereotypes. Outside her window, Houston moves forward. Different now. because one person refused to be silent, and truth changed everything. This story isn't just entertainment, it's a mirror. If Captain Irving's fight moved you, don't just scroll past. Share it, post it, tag someone who needs to see that one person can change a broken system. Comment below. What city are you watching from? Let's see how far truth travels when we refuse to stay quiet. Want more stories where the underestimated become unstoppable? Where courage breaks corrupt systems? Subscribe and turn on notifications. The next fight drops soon, because accountability doesn't start with them. It starts with us.